Hello? Hello. We are back. It is a very rainy and ugly day out in my area. Hope it's much prettier wherever you guys may be. But for now, for me, it is pretty junky outside. Well, we got a few things on the plate today. Going to be kind of a lighter day. And the first thing we're going to start off with is, if you're familiar, this would look like, it is a Game Boy Advance SP. However, the Game Boy is fine. Everything seems to work like it should. Alright. Backlight comes on and off. You can see we got a Pokemon game in there. And when I press start, oh, we get a game can be played message. But unfortunately, it does seem like it's not saving. So let's just go here, and I don't know if y'all can even see this. It's so tough. So we're gonna just poke through real quick here. Now, I have to say, this is a Game Boy console I never actually did own when it was current, because I think by that point in my life I was kind of over the Nintendo handhelds and really moved on to like consoles. So unfortunately, I never really did play too much of the SP. I'm gonna just save a name real quick. Okay. Oop. Hit the wrong button there, so I'll do that real quick. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of text in these old Pokemon games. I forgot about that. Now, I did play a lot of Pokemon on Game Boy Color. Let's see here. Now. Yeah, we're getting to that point right here. So this is actually my cousin's children's game. Man, there's so much freaking conversation. It's kind of why I stopped playing RPGs. Just the time. Okay, so here we're gonna save it real quick. Yes, saving. Don't turn off the power. CC saved the game. So we're gonna exit. Or can I just go back to the menu somehow? I guess there is no way just to go back to the menu, huh? Yeah, I mean, this has come from a guy who lost probably 2 years of his life to Final Fantasy VII. I think that was the last RPG I ever played. But anyway, we've got this saved, right? So, oh, see, there's already a save file. Is it okay to overwrite it? We'll say yes. Save and do not turn off the power. And again, CC save the game. So now, we'll turn the power off. And turn it back on. And the game can be played, but as you can see, my save file has disappeared. And that is where the problem lies. So the Game Boy itself is fine. I'll give it a little clean before I send it back. I believe this is my cousin Patrick's Game Boy. Oh, looks like I could use some cleaning too. I might try to clean it up a little bit. But my cousin Ian, who is Patrick's brother, has a couple of sons, and I guess they recently discovered this system in the Pokemon game and started playing it, and then ran into the issue of the game not saving and the clock not working. So when that happens, there is a small battery that is located on the PCB. And when this dies, as they all die, you no longer can save, because anybody who's familiar with RAM knows that it needs just a tiny bit of power to save the data on it. Otherwise, it erases. RAM is what we call volatile memory. Now, I've got to be real careful with this, because this is a legit copy of Pokemon Emerald, and they do sell for about $100. So I kind of don't want to break any of the plastic here now. What the heck? Is there a clip or something? Just making sure there's only one screw there. Okay. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII is amazing. I kind of wanted to play the remake, and then I never found the time for it. So anyway, as we can see, this is the PCB. I don't think... Well, this is pretty beat up. Now, come on now. No more screws or anything. There we go. It's just kind of have a press fit. So we'll set this to the side here. And we'll get this under the microscope and start taking a look around. And we'll do a couple things. Now, first thing I'm going to do real quick, just to verify, because if I'm right, this battery should have 0 voltage in it. If you can see in the top left, if I can just drag this down just a little bit here, you can see the millivolt reading. And I'm showing it is completely dead. 100%. And now, go into my box of tricks here. Just got a delivery from Console 5. This is what I've been waiting on all week so I could fix this. We have some coin cell batteries. Let's grab one of these. I always tend to buy at least one spare, just in case. Batteries very rarely arrive dead, but they do every once in a while, so just in case, I order 2. Now, this also means that if I ever do come across someone else who needs the service done, I will have something already waiting to go. Okay. So each side of a coin cell battery represents the polarity. So this side is the positive side, which makes this the negative side. So let's just go ahead and get a voltage reading going on here. And I'm showing 3.27 volts DC. Now the biggest difference between the replacement battery and the battery that's on the board is there is not... You can see this one's got a plastic shield, a little anti-short circuit shield, but we can mimic that if we feel like it's necessary, or I could just put a little bit of Kapton tape, which is probably what I'm going to do, over the chip that this crosses over. Let's go ahead and get this under the microscope real quick and take a quick look around. It's a pretty easy fix, very basic soldering. So if you're new to soldering or game repair, replacing these batteries is pretty good practice on some basic soldering stuff. And let's see here, do I have this zoomed all the way out? I do. Now this board's a little crusty. There's some corrosion, which may have been from some battery leakage. So we're going to clean this up with some alcohol as well. And just get this in a top shape. You can see it's kind of, it's kind of crusty looking. So usually these coin cells don't leak, but now this is what I saw before. It had me a little concerned. Some better focus going here. Okay. Now, like I said, we'll clean this up with some alcohol and see what's left. It just looks kind of dirty. Like you could see, oof, like that's in some need of some cleaning. Starting to wear a little bit. It's a well-loved cartridge. Assuming my cousin Patrick played ever-living crap out of this. But all this is all oxidized, and that's corroded. So we're going to have to clean that up. I think the first thing that we're going to do is we are just going to remove the battery. Then we'll clean. And then we will replace in that order. And then, obviously, we will clean again. Let's go ahead and get a chisel tip on here. So so Felcher, you decided not to do the 5 a.m. kayak trip with Doc and Sketty Nips there, eh? I know those boys were planning on going out and hitting the lake today to do some kayaking. Which means they probably are going to be not wanting the game tonight. Because that's some work. Kayaking is a lot of work. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of get a tweezer under one side here. And just grab a hold of that leg. Clean this off real fast. And just going to kind of melt that down. You can see it's free. So we're going to come over here and we're basically going to do the same thing with the other side, although this time the battery will come off. So we're just going to get that wet, and there we go. We are done. Now, let's take a look at the underside of this battery. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just got like a little bit of moisture in the case somehow. Not entirely sure here. This is dead though, so we'll toss that in the dead pile. Now we're going to focus on cleaning this PCB up. Trying to get it back in at least as good as factory. Probably won't get it better. It is pretty corroded, so let's just get some alcohol going here. And I'm doing this even though I've got a... So we're just gonna... Yeah, you can see a lot of this is just kind of... You can see, you notice the difference here, but how that's much darker than the stuff off to the right. The same thing up here. Let's clean this chip off. And we could dig into that. All the cruddier stuff that I was seeing on this board is floating away quite easily, so that's good. Now, if we take little tweezers here real quick and just That's looking a lot better. This stuff is still kind of dark, but just kind of do a little scrape here to see if it can. Doesn't really matter. Well, it kind of does. Like you do want, because oxidation will stop connections, but if the game's running, then it's going to be fine. But we'll just do a quick little check here real quick. So basically, this is the first pad that's oxidized. So it goes to this little via right here. And you can see it goes through that pad all the way to that pin. So this is here. Yeah. Looking okay. So these are all going to be fine. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. I could go get me a magic eraser and clean that up, but the less I have to touch this, the better. And I'm just taking a look here. It's definitely looking pretty clean. That did clean up pretty well. If we just you can see. I'll just show you. We'll take a pure white one here. And then you can see all the kind of crud that's still on the board, but these contacts are looking a lot nicer now. But yeah, there's something crept onto this that shouldn't have been there, but for the most part we're looking okay. Might even hit that up with some solder. So actually, I said that now. So that one like that. So that's not going to reach this way. Or maybe it will. No, not really though. This is kind of how this was meant to go. Fortunately, like I thought, there is no Well, I was kind of hoping to see the markings, but I'm guessing since this only goes one way, it should be like that. So we're going to bend these tabs down just a little tiny bit, like so. And then you can see they make much better contact with these pads. Let's just get this like that. Uh-oh. Well, shoot. We're going to have to... a little bit of... That'll be fine. Right there will be fine. Perfect. And you can see it's pretty good. Pretty good. So let's clean up this old solder here. flux just because it kind of helps it wick into the braid just a little bit easier. And I'm going to replace this with some leaded stuff. Better quality solder than whatever's in the factory stuff. Okay. And then down here, this guy. Perfect. Perfect. So we got that all cleared out now. And then we're just gonna go ahead and redo this. Nice little bubble of fresh leaded solder there. Nice, nice little bubble right here. All right, and then there we go. And clean this up some. Let's get this with the toothbrush. I actually got to go refill my alcohol bottle. Which I will do after this repair. Okay. Could still see some. But it just, that rosin in this stupid stinking rosin on the solder braid is just so annoying sometimes. Just got a little bit down here too. This stuff burns if you look at it wrong. It's not a big deal, but it bothers me. Won't hurt anything if you leave it there, but it does look ugly. And I don't like things to look ugly if I can help it. Okay. Should be good there. Okay. Let's see here. Good. All right. So we're just gonna do the same thing. Wait, no. Let's do it this way. Okay. Now, actually, just to be careful, if I could find it. Oh, what happened to my captain? One second. Okay, well, my cap down tape has decided it wanted to run away on me. It's around here somewhere. Weird. Oh, there it is. Staring me right in the face. Staring me right in the face. So basically what we're going to do is just... We're going to insulate a little bit here. And again, this is an optional step. just like so. And basically this will help just insulate things just a little bit here. Let's do it this way. Okay. That corner might have to go. We'll just keep it right on top of that chip, and those little two flaps will just kind of be held into place by the battery. So there is the battery. Just trying to get like a nice, there we go. That's perfect. That's kind of what we want. So we're kind of bending that down. Now we're going to put a little bit of flux on the connector here and the solder pad. And I'm going to put a little spludge of solder on my tip. Just like so. And there we go. And then flip her around just so I have a better... And we're going to do the same thing with this side. Now we're going to kind of bend the tab down a little bit more if we can. Okay, looking good. And a little bit of fresh solder on that tip there. Hold you in place. That might need a little bit more work there. Did not want to do that. Oops. Not too happy with that joint for some reason, but let's just take a look here. It could be okay. Could probably clean that up some. Okay, we'll go ahead and do just a quick little voltage reading. Now this should be positive right here. Uh-oh. Yeah, good, but I think I'm going to clean that joint up just a little bit. Get some more solder on there. Let's clean the tip off a little bit here. Okay. Unfortunately, I think that's probably as good as we're going to get it. Now just take a look at the other side of that real fast. Yeah, we're good there. Okay. Yeah, that's about as good as we're gonna get it, unfortunately, just due to the way this battery is designed. Okay. And then last but not least, we're gonna clean it one more time. Clear up all the residual flux on the board. this is just kind of an unfortunate reality with all these old Game Boy games that have battery backup. They die. You know, eventually they will die. There are some other things that you can do. There's technology called FRAM, and that is basically a powerless solution that doesn't require batteries, but it does require you to replace the RAM chip, which isn't impossible. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but you can do it. Looking good, looking good. I like that joint a lot better, but that should be fine. Okay, let's just go ahead and do a quick little dry off of my space here. Dry the PCB. It's just 115 degrees Celsius air. It's basically nice and warm. Any residual alcohol up. Clearing off the mat here. Alright. Should be good now. Looking good. Okay. Okay. Are those touching now? I guess I could clean that up if I needed to. It shouldn't be touching though. They're not. They are very close, but yeah, they're not touching. All right. And that should be all you need to do to replace this. So now I gotta put it back in the case. Slap that little bad boy in there and just kind of press fits around the post. And then you can just snap fit the case around it. Looking good. Grab our little tri-wing screw here, which I believe is this guy. Yes, sir. You will need a tri-wing screwdriver for this job, but if you've got an iFixit toolkit like I do, you have all the bits you need. Once again, just finger tight. Don't want to go too crazy hard in the plastic. Nothing rattling around. So we will grab his Game Boy Advance here. Okay. Slide that in. Nintendo logo is promising. Uh-oh. That's not good. There we go. Okay. Weird. Wonder what the heck happened there. A little worried there for a second. Now we're going to have to go through this all again, huh? Okay, I'm gonna go back, do the CC. Yes, sir, it is CC. Okay. Very audible hum coming out of this now. Okay, I can save it. Saving the game. Do not turn off the power. I saved the game. So now we turn the power off. Okay, still got the Nintendo logo, which is good. Right into the game. Uh-oh. Still not saving, huh? Why is it not saving? That's very weird. So, yeah, there's no option to choose. Okay. Well, the battery should still be good. Is it because I'm not saving in a spot and I'm supposed to be saving it, or? Wow, I'm honestly shocked because it should have just saved just fine, but I really wish I would have had more Game Boy Advance games as a test, but option, that's fine. Save. Yeah, saving, don't turn off the power. Okay. So this I saved it, so let's just go play it a little bit. It keeps telling me that I can save it. Says there's already a save file. Would you like to overwrite it? Yes. Okay. Go set the clock in my room. Clock is stopped. Better set it and start it. It is 12:42 p.m. do like that, okay? Yes. Okay. Okay, let's do this real quick. We're just... Alright, we're going to record. We're going to do another save file. Yes. Okay. I guess we're watching this guy's dad fight some Pokemon battles. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna head over and talk to this guy, Mr. Birch. This guy? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Okay, that's not who I needed to speak to. Let's go down this way. Is this gonna tell me the house name, maybe? Yes, Professor Birch's Pokemon Lab. Let's go inside and say hi. Okay, so he ain't here. I guess he doesn't really. Book that's too hard to read. Wonder if I better go back and talk to Mom now. I'm just playing for a little bit to kind of maybe warm the battery up some and maybe did not introduce myself to Professor Birch because I can't find him. Okay, so they're stopping me from going outside. Okay. I'm wondering if I better go talk to this little girl now. Actually, never. Oh, there we go. Okay. Too busy to notice me. Let's go back to Professor Birch's house and see if he's come home yet. Does not look like that is the case. Alright, so we're going to do this again. Now we're going to save. Yes. Okay to overwrite it. We've got 5 minutes in the game now. I mean, that should be plenty of time. So let's turn her off. Let's give it a second here. Wow, it's still not saving. Okay, well that's disappointing and very interesting. Okay, that's weird. So I guess we gotta dig further on this. I don't know what to do. Measure that battery again, make sure it's okay. Very, very, very odd. Okay. Yeah, multimeter, I know. So, do we have a problem with the RAM chip? In which case, that is something I can't solve today. Well, that's interesting. This one doesn't have the... Either that or they spot welded over the spot that I needed to see. Could be the battery, I guess, but... I mean, I'm getting 3.2, which is what I need. That would be... Yeah, like it's... Oh, so look at that. That says 1.6 volts. But I am getting the full 3.2 there, so I wonder... I don't think, yeah. I mean, I should have... I could try... Yeah, I mean, it's... I'm getting the 3.2 where I expect it to be. And if there's looking good. Just checking to look for any maybe corroded tracers or something. Okay. Let's take a look. I mean, I could reflow the RAM, but I don't see why I would need to do that. Directly there. thing. Let's just... And this is definitely dead, right? Maybe I ordered the wrong battery. Pretty sure there is. Does seem like it's... Yeah, I don't know, but... I was getting 0 volts on the test of this before. Still am. Millivolts, so I know this battery is dead, but I mean, I could order some Tab CR2032s, but I didn't think I was going to need to do that. Wish I could just pull this up a little bit here to read some more, but see, that is not a 2016, it has 1620, CR1620, and this is a CR1616, and it's the same thing. Yeah, it shouldn't matter. And I know that's... Unless I do have it installed backwards. There's no way though. Because that went like that. Be right back.
Hey, this is...
And in today's video, you're in here, it's marked as positive, and then also, of course, negative on the bottom side. I'm going to show you how to match those up. So what we're going to do is let's go underneath the scope and do that now. So I have 2 different camera angles here for you, so you can see the one from the front and also the one from directly down. Inspecting the cartridge itself, we orient it with the game reader contacts pointing towards you, so that we're all oriented the same exact way. If we look at this, we can see that the positive
official Nintendo cartridge. Maybe this is not an official Nintendo cartridge. Maybe this is a repro. I definitely didn't see. You know, it's hilarious. This might actually be a fake. I don't see. Now that I'm looking at this, I actually don't see any Nintendo markings on it. I'm gonna pull the battery off again here. Because I'm supposed to get some. So normally you would expect to see polarity markers. Also, I don't. I don't see any. Oh, this is. Oh, this is potentially. Potentially, this is a repro. Looking at the. See how that's out of line? I think this is a fake. I might have to go and do a little bit more research on that. Because normally you would expect to see, and I don't think Nintendo did blob chips. I'm going to go back and look at one thing real quick. So, it actually did have it oriented this way. Which makes me wonder if this was the correct way. Huh. Well, that could very well be it. Let's go ahead and try that. Okay. So that's some unfortunate news I'm going to have to give my cousin. I'll do some research because the Pokemon scene is actually really good with labeling fakes and whatnot. But I would expect to see a Nintendo logo somewhere on this. Oops. See, I like to line things up before. Can't really see, but we'll fix this for sure. But okay. Now we've got that plopped around. We're gonna have to come back in here and see. I don't like that, so we're just gonna undo this. Grab that real quick. Okay. That solder is just staying wet for so long. Let's just go ahead and get this side done up right first. It's just, I don't want it touching any of those, whatever those pads are. I just don't want to put power to where things shouldn't really be getting power. So we got that. I just kind of, there we go. So this is just going to get lifted up just a little bit and then turned just like, see this? This didn't feel right to me. If I do this, it's far off. If I do, can't really get all, oh, you know what I can do here real quick? Just do this. I'm kind of a dummy, I forgot. Get a little bit of vertical lift on it, and now everything's in frame. Okay, much easier to see what I'm doing here. There we go, that's perfect. So now, I'll hold this into place. Quick little tack there. Okay. Now do we have power? Okay, let's pop this back in. Okay. Kind of sad that this might be a repro. Because these are not very cheap. But they are widely counterfeited. Nintendo logo. Alright, well, the game's fine. Alright, we're going to do the... Okay. Alright, so I'm AA this time. So it is AA. Yes, it is, sir. It is AA. Okay, and then we're gonna come in, we're gonna set the clock again. Okay, moved into home. And we got the text moving fast again now too, which is also a huge help for me. Okay. Alright, so telling me to go set my clock. Multimeter decided I want to shut off. Okay, so we are now at 1 p.m. Okay, set the clock. Alright, so we're going to save again. Okay, so we saved it. Let's see what happens now. I'm a little nervous because this... Nope. It is not saving the game. So I don't know if it's because I don't have the right battery or if there's another issue. Very, 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 very weird. Let's just give me a little bit more room here. I know my soldering right now is not the best, but it's definitely soldered in there. So there's all that weird corrosion here, but we were showing continuity. And I definitely should still have power to where it should be going, right? Because this should be the negative side. So that's positive and negative. Yeah, we got that right. Now we got nothing going there, but if I look on this pin, 3 volts. 2.4 volts there. So we're getting 3 volts there. 3 volts there. I mean, the RAM could be dead. This is indeed the RAM chip. God, this should have been an easy fix, but hooks up to this guy on the side right there. So we're saying that this guy is hooked up to this guy? Okay. I mean, that's making it there. Okay. So it makes it to those pads. Is there anything on? And that middle pad would be this guy. And then the other pad is this guy right here. Okay. And if I flip that over, it's this guy right there, which would be this guy. So I'm saying that this should hook up with that. Now, I can't, because that blob is kind of, okay. So, saying that this guy should be hooked up to here. He is. Now this guy. Okay, so that's the one that's. Is it under a blob? So it could be under this blob chip that I can't see. And then there's all this stuff that goes underneath. Could just do a quick little probe real fast and see if. So that should be coming into here. But nothing, huh? So let's. Okay. Doesn't come up anywhere there. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, because that right there is the. Well, guess I could probably try the Kleinar trick. Oh, man. I am confused. This should work. Absolutely should work. I mean, the only. The only other thing I could try is getting a CR2020, which is what this is. And then trying that battery. Or sorry, 1620. 3-volt lithium battery tabbed. I mean, it might have a slightly bigger current output, but it's a fake. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to have to give my cousin the unfortunate news that unfortunately this cartridge is a reproduction. And most likely the issue is going to be lying underneath this thing. I just took a look at some authentic copies, and yeah, unfortunately, this is not going to be fixable. So, I feel really bad, really guilty, but the upside is at least he doesn't have $100 cart ruined. So that's kind of unfortunate. I do have a little gift that I'm going to be including for them. And this gift is a flash cartridge. So they will be able to play all the games for Color Advance. And I think it even says it could do Nintendo games. So I'll get that set up for them this weekend. I'll return the cartridge. I did just some quick research, and it does turn out that the Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire versions actually don't have their saves tied to an internal battery. The clock, however, does require an internal battery. So that's what that's for. But with the clones of this game, unfortunately, there's just really no way. I'm telling you, I'll do some more research tonight. I'm gonna dig into it further and see what I can find. And maybe someone out there has some things I could look at or probe. But yeah, there are some definite signs. So like I said, I pointed out before, right? You can see how the cartridge sticker is completely misaligned. Now, this takes a microscope, but take a look at the Nintendo. You can see how blurry and pixelated all this looks. So this is definitely a printed sticker. Like someone took a picture of the actual label and printed it out, and you can see the resolution is just not the greatest. The little dot over the Nintendo is bad. So we got a lot of this right, but I thought it looked weird when I looked at that cartridge, and there's no PCV markings for the positive versus the negative. So yeah, unfortunately this is not able to be saved here. I'm gonna have to break the news to him, but we'll get that set up for them, and at least they'll be able to continue to be able to use the Game Boy Advance and still enjoy it, and they'll be able to play Pokemon Emerald and actually save it. So we got that going for them, and oh yeah, actually, I did. Oh Lord, boy, I'm a mess today, huh? Okay, let me just show you a couple things real quick because I didn't hit the button. So it's hard. It's hard for you to see. Let's just maybe we can zoom in a little bit more here, huh? And then get some focus going, and we'll go over what I just said again, but this time you'll actually be able to see what I'm talking about. I might have to zoom out just a little bit here. Again. Okay, now we can actually clearly see things here. Yeah, you can see this came from a dot matrix printer, as you can see by all the dots. But see how this is really, I really wish I had an actual authentic Game Boy Advance. Let's just take a look at maybe like something like this, and then you can see how like this TurboGrafx, how all this is. You don't see all those dots, right? So that's one side. And the other thing is that this is a dot, but if you take a look at actual Nintendo stuff, there's squares. Just flip it around the back here. Yeah, you can see how made in Japan. So I mean, they did a pretty good job at trying to reproduce the cartridge, but this is the big giveaway. There's all the little dots. Let's go see if I could maybe find something. Okay, let's take a look at the switch. Well, now we can see this is kind of given. Maybe I'm wrong. That's definitely printed on there, like I was just saying. But you can see how that's a squarish. Does it have Nintendo logo on the back? Yeah. See how you can see how that's a straight square. But I don't have any legitimate advance. I don't own advance, so I don't have any advance titles, so I can't compare label to label. I was trying to see if I could find my old... I do have a Game Boy game. Like a legit Game Boy game. But I don't know what I did with that. I used that one for testing. Unfortunately, my storage area for all the stuff is a little janky right now, so it's hard for me to find one. That's a Neo Geo Pocket game, which is not Nintendo. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Alright, let's take a look at this one. Now, okay, well, but look how clear that Nintendo logo is. And the same thing with this. And then we put these side by side, which is kind of going to be hard to do. You can see the difference here. Look at the ends, right? Ends look a little bit different. Now, this could also be the fact that, you know, this is just a straight up Nintendo Game Boy cartridge, but yeah, once again, you can see that the dot above the eye is a square, it's not a dot. And on this, it's very, very blurry. But see how it looks like a dot, not like a square? That one's real hard to tell how blurry it is. But the big tell is really the cartridge. If you go online, see that's more like what we were expecting. So if we take a look, right? Bring this up. Yeah, so you can see these. This seems to be copied. It's still more rounded than I would expect it to be, but it's closer. Yeah, but the label misalignment, I mean, take a look and see like how these are applied by machines, so they're going to be very uniform, and you can tell this is someone just slapping the sticker on. Like this overlap right here is really poor. I don't think the sticker could have shifted really. It's a very good repro, but it is a repro nonetheless. See, this is all, resolution on this is kind of crappy. And take a look at, see, like this is like, you could see like how much clearer this logo is compared to this. So there's lots of things you got to look out for. So if you're a Pokemon card collector, I'm sure you probably already know this, but there are a lot of repro cards out there, and for the most part there's really nothing wrong with the repros, as long as you're not buying them thinking they're authentic. Like if you buy them knowing they're a repro, there's nothing wrong with them. But if you're a collector, that's not what you want. So unfortunately, you can't play Game Boy games in this, can you? You can. Well, original Game Boy games work on the Advance. Who wouldn't know? Alright, well that is unfortunate, but I do hope to make their day. We have this little guy. And that should hopefully make up for it. Okay, well, I gotta move on. That's an unfortunate problem with Repair World is, sometimes you just can't fix things. I won't give up hope on it. I'll poke around and see if maybe someone's got a solution for it. But my guess is that whatever they're using to store the data is either dead, or the blob chip that maybe is sending data to be saved is dead. I think we're just kind of in a situation right now where it's definitely not the battery, and my quick little research on it confirmed that with the advanced versions of Pokemon, the battery actually only controls the real world clock. So it wasn't even affecting the save to begin with. That is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's move on. So we're back to my PC Engine GT. Now, for those that were here last week, you'll remember I got everything working on this except the battery power. And what I discovered after talking with people far smarter than I, is that the ground connection for the battery runs through the DC power jack, and the DC power jack on this thing is wonky, to say the least, right? So I was given some instruction, and that instruction was to create a little jump, right? So what we're doing here is jumping. This is system ground right here, and then this is the battery ground. So this portion of the connector is connected to the ground of the battery. Right, and so we formed a connection from this pad to the system ground, bypassing the jack. And then what that did for us is it allowed us to power the system on via battery. I'm not going to bother right now with showing that because it's just, I don't know, I don't feel like doing it and then undoing it and blah, 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 blah. So what my focus with this today is this should be the last little bit that I've got to do, right? I've got to install the new DC power jack that I just got in from console 5, and then I'm going to have to undo all this mess right here, retest the audio. My guess is that this audio jack is just completely corroded and needs to be replaced. I do have replacements on hand, so we can just install a new one of them. So let's go ahead for now and just go ahead and we will undo and remove this jack. So let's do that real quick. And then bring you down here. I don't want to melt that plastic connector there. Headphone jack I'm caring a little less about, but still don't want to destroy things. Okay, so we removed our jump. Don't need it anymore. Now we've got to... So that right there is the power jack. You can see that's the power jack. And these are the 3 connections for it. Now that does look a little... Is that just flux from before? Let's just see here. It could just be flux. I think that's just flux. Okay. For a second there, I was like, it could be popcorn, which would kind of suck, but we're just going to go ahead and see what we can get up with the braid, and then we'll probably use a solder sucker to get the rest. So let's just flood some flux in the area. And I've got to be careful. We got some passes nearby, so Definitely got to watch out for them. Don't want to remove any by mistake, but thankfully I've got some good reference boards just in case. I'll just start real quick. Suck up what we can and see what else I've got to do. Okay. Didn't really get up too much there, but that's okay. Trying to do this all. Probably going to be better off using a solder sucker. Man, that does smell kind of fishy though, huh? Well, we'll give this whole area another scrub, I suppose, too. That definitely smells kind of fishy. It doesn't really make me happy. Again, this is just all tying into that. I really wish I had an ultrasonic cleaner. I probably would have tossed this board in first. Right. Got that resistor in the bottom left. I'm trying to be a little conscious of here. Yeah, we could still see that. I have a lot left on that to go. I might need to do the whole flood and drain. These DC jacks have some weird, they're not like straight pins, I think, some of them. Kind of this. Let's see, like. Okay. Clear this out real quick. Getting some good. God, that stinks. Oh, it stinks so bad. Okay, that resistor's still there. Okay. Oof. This is why when you're doing cap replacements, you really gotta freaking clean the crap out of your board, huh? Put some more flux down and see if we can't get some more of the solder up. Might switch to slightly thinner braid here just to get me into the nooks and crannies a little bit easier. I do love the thicker braid. Is really good for soaking up a lot of the gross work, and then this thin braid really kind of lets you get into areas like this and suck up the rest. So now, kind of left wondering if is this pin moving or is it still soldered? Because I might have to just hit this with hot air. Because that front one is, because I think I can see where it's still got a little bit of solder in it. So let's just clean this up some more. Let's see that bottom right corner. Basically, I'm just trying to maybe that did it. That might have done it. I still think I could still see some on that left side though. Well, it feels better. Okay, so we still got some, just a little tiny bit there on that left-hand side. We're gonna grab and do the same thing one more time. Just a little more flux. We're gonna scrub the crap out of this area when we're done. I'm using a lot of flux. But there's just that little tiny tendril there that is kind of connecting. Now this guy, though, on the other hand, this one's going to be a real pain. Might have to just use heat for that one. Hot air, I mean. Ruin a tip there. Is this moving now? Bend these up a little bit. See how that pad's kind of just starting to not be happy with me. We are getting some movement. I do actually believe maybe. Kind of hard. I'm going to have to do this a little bit off camera here. Could clip it too. Well, I don't know if I can get my tweezers or my snippers in there. But you can see how that's kind of Try one more time here. Some more braid. Don't want to. Just gotta be careful. There's too much heat, and you can see like this board in particular. These pads up here just don't like. See, it's just a little deformed, but. Lifted that pad, unfortunately. God dang it, that's exactly what I was trying not to do, but that whole pad's gone. That whole pad's gone now, which is unfortunate. If we can do this right, we might be able to salvage that. This is fine, but this guy is just holding on to too much. Yeah, that's gonna come up. That is gonna come up. Probably should have just used hot air, but I don't. There's too much plastic in this area. I mean, push comes to shove. I don't think this is connected to this. Alright, well, push comes to shove. I could just jump from here to here. I'm not too concerned about it, I guess. If I lose one pad, then I could just jump. That sucks, though. It really freaking sucks. Why did you design these things this way? Like, that's exactly what I was afraid was going to happen. Taking this thing out is unfortunately going to dislodge this pad. Now, that being said, that is just a ground, right? Or not. Well, good enough. I mean, I could always grind away and just... All right. Good enough. Now, I did take the pad with me, but that's okay. So when we come look at this side, we are going to see, yes, that is all gone. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. Now, take a look at this side, however. What the heck is that? That just flaked off solder. Okay, we'll clean that up pretty easily here. Man, kind of just, you know, I was expecting it to happen. I just was hoping it wouldn't. Ideally, I would have much preferred to use a heat gun. Now this though, like what is this hooked into here? That's the ground right there. It's not really hooked into any sort of system ground. Well, if I need to jump it, I will. The good thing is that I might, whatever is connected to a top, it's doubtful it's going to work on the bottom. I don't know. Guess I'm just going to have to jump it to whatever that test point is. Damn it. I was hoping I'd have to not have to worry about rip pads on this board, but no. Just finishing off the work that the guy already did for me, I guess. There it is right here. Okay. Let's just see if we can get the rest of the solder up real fast. Now for sure. Yeah, it's not connected to anything. I don't know. I'll do. Quick little clean of the air. Two pads, the important ones are intact. That guy's not. Does L5101, does that hook into this? No. Does it hook into this? No. I mean, if anything, if I've got to just restore that, I'll just restore that, but I'm pretty sure we'll be okay. And if I've just got to add in a bodge wire to make the battery power work, then I'll just add in a bodge wire. Just do it proper. But let's go ahead and just get the new jack installed. Let's see what we got. All right. Okay. So here is the new DC power jack. Now, just a spare just in case. Yeah, see, this one doesn't have the stupid frickin' multi-hook thing on the other side, on the ground side that the original does. So okay, so hard to see. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to do this tiny bit off camera. Because I gotta be able to lie it flat, tack it on, and I can't really do all that underneath the camera. So we're gonna just flip into boring mode for just a second here. Okay, perfect. So, got it barely tacked in there. And same thing. Let's do this. Do that. And we'll just flood. Needs more, huh? Okay. Let that solidify. Okay. Alright, so now that's nice and shiny. We will try to kind of get this soldered into the other side. There is kind of, oops, no, didn't mean for that to happen, but we'll just loop that off real quick. So there is, and I don't think, unfortunately, that's going to reach on the other side, but there is that. Nope, can't do that either. All right, we'll clear that up real fast. I was hoping maybe I could kind of get to connect on the other side, but I'm guessing what I'm going to have to do is do a jump from L501, which is not really L501, but this guy. Yeah, we can see that this is not connected. Okay, so weird thing is, do I have... Kind of going through some trash here to see if I had a radio cap that I could pull a leg from. I might have one in there. Probably just gonna go grab a freshie, just use that. But first, I'm actually going to be right back here. So now the power jack is here. That's the pad that I needed to know. Ah, crap. Oh. Okay, yeah, it is connected to L501. Alright. Cool. Yep, okay. Yes, sir. 100% connected to L501 area, whatever that little via is supposed to be. So we are going to, actually, now I thought, there we go. I have one right in front of me. Perfect. Grab this. And then going to do it just like that. Perfect. Okay. Now what we're going to have to do here is not let it sit in that hole like that, but just do something like this. Get some more flux in this area, just like that. Might end up having to do this twice, but we'll see. Should probably, let's just clean that tip off. Guess that was a nice little. Now, I really gotta. Okay, so now I should have. Might be too much flux in the air. I mean, it's connected, but it's so weird that it's so intermittent. Like I said, end of the day, it's not too. Let's just clean up some of this crap here. Residual in the area. Could probably add a little bit more solder to that, I'm thinking. Looks good to me, but there we go. Now my meter won't shut off, but it'll keep beeping at me to let me know it wants to shut off. All right. So now, get you back in frame here. Yeah, just fluxy. But I think the whole reason I might still have to do this jump. Because I don't think these are actually connected. Is this connected? Not directly. Well, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. And if I have to reinstall that bodge wire, I will. Not what I was wanting to do, but... Alright. So... the fun job of hooking all this crap up. So this is the screen that came with this one. I'm gotta be careful now because this screen is starting to get a little, this ribbon's starting to get a little chewed up, but I've got plenty of replacement screens. I can actually get a couple more for affordable prices, but not something I really want to spend my money on, to be quite honest. Okay, that's not aligned right. Now that is, plug that in now. Okay, then get a game. Put that guy in. And this guy goes this way. This thing's probably not just going to make a fool of me here, but nope. Battery power is restored. Still have volume. Contrast still works. Perfect. So now comes the fun bit. Okay. All right, so this is the what it came with. I'm gonna swap this into a much better, to the nicer. This is part of the nicer case that I got, so I'm gonna swap that out most likely. Okay, let's get the skin card out. All right, okay. Well, we got battery powered restored, which is always good. But we need to now, what I should have done, and I didn't because I'm a dumbass, but that's okay. So this is done because I'm guaranteeing you the headphone jack is so corroded that it's not outputting audio to the speaker when this is removed. And that's what this is doing, is forcing that to happen. So now my guess is that when I go test this again now, and we're just going to plug in the sound, and then I'll go grab a set of headphones. Let's see if they come through the headphones as well. But my guess here... Oh, actually, that's a good point. I probably should. Signal adapter. It is. I'm going to try the power jack as well. Of course, I'm doing this, and oh, I guess I could just plug the backlight in. I think it should turn the backlight on, even if I don't have the screen connected to the system. So I'm going to try the DC jack. Perfect fit. Let's see if the backlight comes on, huh? Yep. And as expected, no sound through external speaker. So, but we know the power jack is working because backlight came on. Now, if I grab some headphones, and then I plug headphones in. Oh my God. You know what I just noticed? Yeah, kind of helps to freaking have a game plugged in. All right, so we're going to double test it again now. So my guess is that, okay, so I'm not even getting any sounds out of the headphones. Huh. Well, I think we just pull the jack off and I'm gonna try it with the, now that we've got, let's do this real quick. Now that we've got an actual game plugged in. Though I'm not expecting to hear audio out the speakers, especially if I wasn't getting them out of the headphones. That thing must be completely just junk now. Let's just put the screen in just for the heck of it, just so. I get a good visual verification that the system's running as intended. Plug the power in. Okay. Okay. And as expected, zero sound, but we could see that the screen is functional. Game is running. So I should be getting sound. But we're not. There's also another common issue with these systems, that this headphone jack becomes so corroded and junky that you get no audio, or you only get headphone audio, or I don't know, one of the two. Okay, so now here's the thing. I'm a little nervous, and the reason I'm a little nervous is the last time that I did this, I also had issues with lifting pads. So we're gonna, might end up pulling out my desoldering gun. But first we're gonna try with the solder sucker here. Just see if maybe, whew, yeah, this whole area is just covered in electrolytic fluid. I can still see that it's still barely connected, but well, we'll keep trying here. Still connected on that one side. Getting most of it up though. Getting that lovely smell of dead fish. God, I really wish I had an ultrasonic. Really wish I did. Okay. So that's all well and good. I actually really enjoy this manual pump. It is very strong. So the issue, you can see how like it's getting pushed to that one side, but that's okay. I think we might just be able to really just lightly tap with braid. We're gonna do this very gently. Now we've got to, these pads are just a lot of solder, unfortunately. So it might take a couple of pulls. Man, this guy really did not clean this board at all. Okay. Get this one now. pads rest a little bit between heating and deheating and unheating, cooling. God. English is hard, folks. English is very hard. Now, you know, it is looking pretty good, I gotta say. Oh, and there's this top one we gotta get to, so let's focus on this one a little bit. Now, if I have to pull off the battery connector, I can. And I might end up doing that just to kind of just use hot air on this. Because that would probably be the least harsh way for me to finish up the work here. You can see we still have a lot of pads that have just some bare bones. See how that's not wiggling? That's definitely soldered. No wiggle on that. No wiggle. And I could see, I mean, you could, oops, that's exactly why I told myself to start using a plastic tool. But you can see that that one's sort of free, but okay, so now we're gonna just be very light and gentle with these. I'm not even gonna really spend too much time on them. Like I said, I might just end up just desoldering that battery connector and, to be quite honest, just okay. Okay, now what about this? It's just like so weird because it's like you get it on one side and there's just enough solder kind of still hanging around where, oh no, see, I'm done. I'm done already. Not happening. I saw that pad slightly lift and move. So I think the time has come. Can I basically, I wonder though. Now, the problem with these two pins right here is that they've got this epoxy crap on them. So maybe if I put a little bit of fresh leaded, now what I want to do is grab it, pull it. Okay. And we can clean the area properly. Now I can use a little bit of hot air to finish off the job here. I just was trying to clean off as much. Okay, so my board holder is right here. I just need to slightly squish. This will give me a nice stable base. And hopefully, if I do this right, this part should just kind of fall out on its own. I'm going to take a little precaution here. Add some Captain tape around this contrast wheel, this volume wheel. It's not the best, but man, I swear to God, we'll probably at least maybe just go get some aluminum foil as well. Couple layers. Okay. Thought here is just a little bit of closeness. I mean, that's the area I'm heating, but okay, so just because I don't need this, but it does kind of help know when things are getting nice and warm and gooey. So we're going to do that. Grab you. Okay. 380, I think, just to kind of try to keep the Alright, so it is fighting me a little bit here. It might be that guy right there. Maybe, maybe not. Could be some glue. Try not to overheat the board to be just very, very clear here, because we've come this far. We're so close. Trying just to get a better view. It's just hard to keep track of everything. Ooh, can't do that. So I've got a pair of tweezers in here. There we go. Perfect. Came out like a charm. So we're gonna basically let things cool off here. I'm gonna maybe do a little cleaning while it's still nice and hot. Alright, let's get this back into focus for y'all. Okay. And then we'll just hit you with a little alcohol. Hopefully, I didn't damage anything else. This whole area, nice little scrub. Pads look good. I feel good about that. Okay, well that came off a little bit better than expected. I think the first time I was doing this, I was so worried about preserving the port because I couldn't find replacements. But I actually ended up did. Now, this is the, yeah, you could see, I don't know how much of that's from me, but these things get so dirty. And now, I think the way, if I remember right here, is when you have headphones plugged in, pretty sure so these two should signify when headphones are plugged in, they're connected, but when they're not, this side should be connected, but because the switch is probably so corroded right now, let's see what happens when I plug some headphones in. Make sure the headphones are going to pull the jack off. Okay, so we got that going. I know it's a little blurry, but so I'm expecting to see, I would expect these two pins to show as connected, but yeah, see how we're just not getting anything at all. So this switch inside is just dead. And supposedly, if you really wanted to, you could replace the switch. You could actually take the switch. The Sega Game Gear is a very, very similar port. It's missing a singular pin that you need to make it work on a GT. However, the switch is 100% the same. And if you wanted to, theoretically, you could replace the switch on these with the one from the Sega Game Gear. So I'm giving this a nice thorough clean. External clean, because internal is not really accessible. You could see kind of how cruddy. I know it's not the best. I could probably refocus this, but if I do that, you could see just some of the crud. Now, whether that's from the electrolytic fluid or not, I don't know. But I think on the Game Gear, it's either missing this pin or it's missing this pin. And like I said, with headphones not plugged in, these two, I believe these two should be connected. Yep. There we go. And then when I plug headphones in, I mean, for all I know, this jack could be okay. I don't really don't want to resolder it and find out, but very well could be good. I might save it just to have it. Do with the freaking headphones. Oh, there. So now when I plug headphones in, you're expecting it to switch from the middle left, or so basically without. Oh, come on, stay in frame. It's so awkward with the headphones plugged in. Alright, so now if I just flip this over, So we're looking at it like this again. All right, without headphones, the right and the middle should be plugged in, but with the headphones jacked in, I'm expecting, I think it's either right and far left or middle and far left. So let's just go ahead and do that. Nothing. So I still think the switch is not working correctly. But when I take it out, what do we get? We should. Yeah, something's funky in this one. So if I go over to my bag of tricks, we have these. Now these are almost identical minus one thing, whereas the Sega Game Gear is missing a pin. This one has an additional pin. So you can see the 4 pins here, and the stock is missing that, but it's no big deal, honestly. As long as I've got the 2 on the left here, this should work. I'll show you here in a second. Okay. So on the right we have the original. On the left we've got the new. I think they are PJ308 headphone jack with switch. So that's the ground pin that needs to get nudged up. But virtually identical, except we don't need pin 11, which is this guy right there. Now if I take my multimeter, should have pretty clear contact. Okay, then if I plug the headphones in, hopefully we see it switch. Okay, so now, I can't remember, I think it goes, connect middle and left. Yep, so that's functioning. Okay, so let's get this on the board. Now, I'm going to just straighten this one ground pin out. You know what? Let's take this tape off too. Yeah, I didn't melt the volume wheel or the contrast wheel. What is that? It's the volume wheel. Good. Good. Just double check this area. Yeah, we should clean this. Clean this while we're here. Let's just hit this with some 115 degree heat. That might make things a little more receptive to my cleaning. The thing about this is that it won't damage any plastics or melt any solder, so you don't got to worry about your jumps coming undone and whatnot. I got to be a little careful though, because I don't want to scrub too hard and ruin my amazing professional jump wire work. But I'm just trying to kind of clean some of this, just in case any more fluid leak through on this side and there's some junk and whatnot from whatever corroded it in the first place. But for the most part we seem to be okay. I can just grab a quick little Q-tip here. can see on my lovely, lovely jumper, because this is all the ripped pads that he had ripped before. So now, might need to come in here with some braid. I am seeing some of these holes are a little filled in. So I'm not going to force anything. If I need to come in with some braid and clean again, I will. Guessing I'm going to need to. It does not want to accept it, so we're going to try from this side real quick just because I can see a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to go and we're going to clean up a little bit more. I think we're going to do it from the other side because it seems like that's where the solder is closest to. So, thinking just flux and braid and keep going. Just got to be a little careful because we got plastic and that jump wire right there to the left. But with my tiny braid, I should be able to get this just fine. So that should squish down. Basically just glide it over the pad. Okay, now this one's going to be a little bit trickier. Same principle. I'll glide over that pad. And then we'll clean some of that up. Come in here and clean. Again, this flux is non-corrosive, so it won't matter if a little gets left on the board. It's just, this is more of a admitted personal preference to be as nice and squeaky clean as possible. Okay, I think that should do it. All of our jumper wires do seem to be in place. I'm probably going to come in here and this is going to get hit, and that might get hit with a little bit of, and that too. Just some UV reactive solder mask. Well, that's off kilt a little bit, but hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Shit. Just realized that. Might not line up with the hole right, but we'll see. That's unfortunate. But we might be able to fix that. Honestly. Might be able to fix that with just a little bit of heating. Yeah, it's not lined up properly. That's okay. We'll get that sorted later. Now, this is the new port. This is the new port. So we should be good to try this again. There we go. Mostly. Okay. And okay. Just checking to see if that's lying flat. It's kind of looking a little canted to one side, but we might have to just nudge. No, that's looking okay. That's looking okay. Everything's looking okay. Now, okay. So we just basically gotta solder up, and now I am not going to solder. So I'm going to solder this pin right here. I'm not going to solder the one next to it because in the original system. That is non-connect. Sorry, I was getting a little blocked by that heat shield. Now I'm purposely not putting too much solder in because just in case something doesn't work, I don't want to have to deal with a lot of solder. And then I can just come back and add some more once we're good. As long as we got a nice little bubble around the pad to the pin. Just like so. So once again, these two should be connected with no headphones. And then just double test. Connected, not connected, not connected. Then we grab our headphones here. The middle and the right should now be connected. Okay. So here we go, folks. Here we go. We're going to first plug in a game. Unlike last time, I'm going to remember to do that first. Oh wait, that is, well, we don't need that one just yet. We've got DC power jack, which is working. So we will plug that in. Let me make sure that is right. Okay. I'm going to try the headphones first. Now we don't need to plug the screen in just yet. Let's grab this. Do this. Okay. Perfect. And the coup de grace. So I don't know if y'all could hear the headphones, but they were working in the last system. Well, the last plug, they weren't working at all, so you're already a one up. That, my friends, is a fully functional PC Engine GT. That is number 2 for me. I am very excited right now, even though my voice might not be showing it. I am jumping up and down on the inside. So, we have some extra things to do real quick. The first one being is we need to hook the battery connector back up. And that is going to be right here. So let's get the... Alright, so here's our battery connector. And the nice thing here is I got that nice little silk screen to let me know where things should be. Now, actually, I just do want to... Do we have nubs on the bottom of this? I'm just going to take a quick little look. See, we've got 2 little locator nubs that are going to go right in these little just through holes that are not connected or tinned to anything. So that's good. That'll help me know that it's indexed properly. Okay, yeah, good. And we're going to slime with a little bit of flux on one pad, or we'll do both, but now I gotta just gotta tack one into place real quick, and then we'll do the other one proper, and then come back and redo the first. Now it should be good and solid. We're gonna just add a little bit more solder to this pad. All right. Now we are back in working order. Oh, it's been a journey with this guy. And this one was expected to be a basic, very basic recap job. I bought it with the description being everything worked except for the contrast wheel. And he wasn't entirely inaccurate. Everything did work except for the contrast wheel. Oh, and the volume didn't work. The volume wouldn't change, but the speaker was still making noise. Oh crap! I just remembered. Yeah, we're gonna do this all over again. So now that I've verified everything, just try this off real fast. Those actually look pretty decent. I probably could use a little bit more solder, but we're gonna tap a little bit more solder all around, just to make sure it's a nice and solid connection. That's good. That's good. This one I wanted to get a little bit more on. This one I wanted to get a little bit more on as well. I guess we can do this one too. This one just a little bit more, and this one should have been fine, but let's do a little bit more just in case. And that is perfect. Okay, that's perfect. I wanted to strengthen those connections just a little tiny bit. Otherwise, they're fine. I'm gonna clean this whole area. Actually, now that I think about it, I do remember smelling a heck of a lot of dead fish, unfortunately. So let's just give it a good scrub, and then we'll maybe just Q-tip around a little bit here. All right, so now that's just we're gonna come grab that's a mounting hole, but I want to clear that solder off because I'm going to put the shield back on. So that does need to go. Okay, good enough. We'll leave that be in terms of cleaning because we're going to have to re-clean anyway when I solder it. Man, I am proud. Okay. This was a good fix. That should be okay. It's a little off, but where's the rear shell? That's a little off. Can I still get it? Might have to wiggle this just a little bit. Okay, so the unfortunate problem that I'm having is this DC jack is just a little off, but it's looking like, yeah, we're fine. Never mind. I'm not going to even bother. It's fine. It looks a little off, but you can get the barrel jack right around it, and it's fine. There's no reason to keep messing with it. Just going to leave that be. Okay. Now this is the one. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use the other screen. Okay, got that going. Now, I needed to find that shielding. So that's what we're going to put it in. I don't know why it's thinking I'm trying to record. So now I've got to find. I left it in here. It is. Okay, it's right here. There's the shielding. I'm going to make sure to put the. So because this one is working, I'm going to give this one the better looking case. And I've got the completely broken one, so if I ever get that one fixed up and running, it's gonna have a kind of crappier case. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to screen mount it, but we'll see. Now, this guy needs to get put on, and I think it goes just like that. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, I might have to do some more work on this hole right here. Yes, sir. So you can see this. There is a little bit of solder still stuck in there. So let me just kind of clear that up. Okay, that should be good. Let's keep going to the right. Okay, I think we should be good now. So stick that in. That worked. That worked. That worked. Now this little bit right here, right there, that is the son of a bitch side, so to speak. So let's just see about getting you cleared up here. Might need to add a little flux, but we'll see. Yeah. Let's try with a little flux. And if not, we could try with a little bit of solder sucker. I could put a little bit of fresh, and I might end up doing that anyway. But a little bit of fresh solder sometimes makes this easier. All right, we're gonna just clear this out. I want to have some fresh braid, as fresh as I can get it. And then with the flux, it should hopefully flow to the braid a little bit more. No. So let us try the old-fashioned way here. Now these are just mounting holes, so not a huge deal, but we're gonna do it this. We're gonna try like this. It's one of those things where it's a little bit more difficult than it looks, because it's not really, I don't know how well it's liquefying it. Yeah, see, like, might switch tips here. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now we should be good. Should be good now. Let's clean this up just a little bit. not a huge deal. It's just an RF shield, so. Okay, so let's turn you back here. Get you out the way. Should mean plop, plop. Fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Is that side not coming through? The shield was a little wonky when I got to it, but now we're fine. I'm gonna. Oh, is that side okay? Yeah, so it's fine. And just as long as I could clearance here, which I should. I think he might have. Did you trim this? He might have trimmed this. And is that supposed to be bent down? I can't tell, but he may have trimmed this. I'm not going to dig it out. Not a huge deal. I mean, they're just kind of like added protection just to cover your ass in a, so to speak, kind of manner. So it's not a huge deal, but so I think I'm going to just tack this side in this place here. So this guy right here, I'm tacking in, he's been kind of just flippy floppy. Well, it's still not working, huh? All right. God dang, this stuff stinks. I guess I'm just gonna scrub this whole freaking board. I don't know. Or is it just too far gone? It's got a lot of solder on this tip. Perfect. Okay, so let's get you back under the microscope now, just so I can see what I'm doing. So we ended up tacking. Just tack that down for now. And this is basically now we just gotta go find all the rest of the spots that are sticking up like that right there. Generally I don't bother too much with fluxing through whole stuff because I usually don't need it, but it can help if you are struggling a little bit. Like I did with that tack, I just put a little extra flux down and it kind of helped it flow to where it needed to be. Like that's perfect, honestly. And then I can come back now and we can get this done proper. Okay, let's just take a quick look. Okay, kind of sprung down on me a little bit. Like I said, I think he bent the shit out of the shield. Because he was, oh, that's right. Yeah, he probably did mangle the crap out of this freaking thing because the dumbass used radio caps. So I think he was doing that just to make them fit. Another reason why I should use the S&Ds. They're not that much harder to work with, in my opinion. I think kind of forcing radial to caps to fit where they weren't meant to fit is a little counterproductive. Sorry, I'm just gonna. So I got that side. I got that side. Did I get this side? I did. And then it was the middle. Now that one is underneath. I'm just gonna leave that one be. That's fine. That way if somebody else needs to work on this thing later, they won't have to worry. Okay, so let's just go ahead. We got obvious little signs of God, that was truth. We're gonna get some more alcohol too. All right, got ourselves a fresh bottle of alcohol. Basically now I'm just kind of going over everything with some fresh alcohol. Hopefully anything residual on the board. Get one last good old scrub here. Maybe if there's anything still remaining. We would keep it a little junky there. Okay. Alright, and then we're gonna lot of just horrible dead fishy smell stuff all around areas that we're working on today, so let's just go ahead and dry this off now. Should be nice and dry now. Alright. Cool beans. Before we go too crazy, just make sure I got the See, that's right, because that's probably here, right? Got my screws and my power switch. Okay, so I do remember. Make sure to put the power switch on before you screw the motherboard down. Screws and everything out. A good thing is these are for the Hue card. That's for the motherboard, and that's for the internal battery compartment. Now the power switch should only fit one way. That should go like that. Oh, I think I actually do have to hook the Hue card slot in first. Hue card slot just slides in. There's 3 screws for it. Doing this off frame, but there's screws in the way, so there's bottom left, and top right. Okay, looks just like that. Then grab our power switch here. Make sure that this cable doesn't get snagged. Okay. And slide power switch into place. So basically I think it's the other way around. Does it go like this? I can never remember. I always got to dry fit it first. There we go. All right, so take your power switch, right? And you want to have the notch facing the floor, and then just with the switch in the off position is the easiest way, I think. And then just leaving it and just slide it in there. You should be good to go at that point. Then at the top of the board, there is a single spot for his fastener. And just slide that in there real quick. And now, unfortunately, because the guy before me, kind of a bull in a china shop, but he was nice enough to leave some of the fabric tape behind, at least for me. So we got that going for us. So plug the battery in here. And we're going to take our wires. We're just going to tape them down like that. And that'll keep everything nice and in place, right? Normally, I think this extends from the battery compartment all the way up, but he, for whatever reason, could not keep that intact. So, to make our lives easier, the first things we're going to do now. This is the video out, right? I think that's the video out. And it's just a ribbon cable, slots in, and as per usual, for the backlight cable. And we'll do the speakers and buttons. And we'll do the screen. Okay. And before we completely button things up here, now actually I might need to, there's some metal tabs that he viciously bent. I might need to bend them back. I'm not getting a very solid steel. We're just going to test power. Good. Get power still. Grab ourselves a game real quick. We are good to go. Alright, so that would work, but I'm not. Let's just take a look at this real quick before we go too crazy. Might end up just. Let's try it like this. So these guys are severely, you know what, just to prevent any potential issues. Now those guys are bent, so kind of feel like that should be good. Just trying to bend them down at their fulcrums there. See, it's just, that should be better. Should give me a better seal there. And then I can hook my, go back and redo this all over again. A little bit easier to do with my right hand, to be honest. They are kind of, I mean, they're friction fit, so they're meant to be stiff. And they are very stiff. We'll give them that. It's a lot easier when I have the screen in the air, to be quite honest. Oop, that did not go right. Make sure I didn't ruin anything. Should be good, okay. Kind of straightening things out. Don't force anything. It should just eventually just slide in. What a pain. This is the worst part of this whole job. It's so crammed in there. Boy, I can't see. Alright, here, we're gonna get this off camera here, because let's do it this way. I think that's a little bit easier, huh? Undo the backlight, because that's a much easier connection to plug in last. Now, I do it this way. It's probably gonna have to. Oh, no, we can slide that in. Guess you can slide that in without. Alright, well, I can see why this guy chewed up his shit before. Oh, no, don't tell me. Okay, didn't rip it. Okay. Alright. Freaking finally. What a pain. But yeah, since that Molex goes in so easy, I guess it's probably better to leave that to last. Now we've got, I think this goes just like that. And there's a notch on the right side that we slide this loop of fabric over. And then it should just, yeah, just close together. All right, that's much better. Okay, so we're gonna top right. All right, just. Okay. Try to crisscross as much as possible. And then once you feel things tighten down, you should be good to go. Oh, like again, plastic is very fragile, so don't go much harder than finger tight. Doesn't need it. As soon as you feel it pretty much stiffen up, just let it go. Grab this guy now. Okay. And then we have one more silver screw. Bottom left. I'm going to shut you off because you're just annoying the crap out of me now. And now, aside from probably a little extra cleaning, let's do this. You can see. So there's the volume. And there's the contrast. You guys get. Okay. Buttons seem to work. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing in this game. It's all in Japanese, so just verifying the buttons work. You know what? We've got this one. I think this one's probably better. This is a wrestling game. So Okay. Ooh, he threw me out of the ring. How do I get back in? Oh no. There we go. He's kicking my butt. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing in this game. Just trying to verify all my buttons work. Is that normal? That was the row of pixels at the top that looked a little funky, but that might be normal. Alright, that's normal. Yeah, I guess, I don't know if they're health bars or something, but okay, that's normal. That's looking good. I think those are the only two. I mean, I've got more Japanese games, but... Alright. Cool. So that is number 2. Now, I did want to just verify real quick. Let's just do this. And then this. And then this. And this. And we're going to grab our power adapter here. Should be okay, but just want to verify. Yeah, looks good. We'll just put this back in, just double check. Yes, sir. Fully functional. Okay. 100% fully functional PC Engine GT. That is number 2 I have gotten working. So this was, oh, I guess, did I use the wrong screen? I guess I used the wrong screen. Well, maybe not. Select button's a little chewed up on that one. I did use the wrong screen, didn't I? God dang it, I did. Well, shoot. Son of a gun. I think, in the order of fairness here, we are going to undo all my work. Damn it, Justin. I wasn't paying attention. I put the wrong screen on. I thought it was... okay, well, let's undo it and redo it. At least we know everything works. That's the most important part. Okay. So, because I'm an idiot and wasn't paying attention, even though I thought I was. I put the wrong screen on. So, what I should have done is I should have put all that away. And then got this in there. Now, hopefully this should install a lot easier. Just annoying. That's all. Because you think you're done. You should be done. And you're not done. Same thing, just gonna do a little crisscross here. Okay, now we need this. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do the silver first, then work our way up. Okay, got this guy. Okay. Slap on the old battery cover. We are good to go. Some batteries going on this thing. And the rest of the game. Don't do this to me. Did I screw something up? Did I just put the game in backwards? Yeah, this is a much nicer screen. The other one had this like weird circular burn. Yeah, this is the better screen for sure. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now 100% without further ado, that is a completely finished PC Engine GT. Oh man, what a day. All right. Okay. Well, you know, I was thinking about maybe working some on the Neo Geo today. I'm tired and out of it, and I honestly don't feel like it. So I'm going to call it a day. I am going to call it a day. It's been good. I've unfortunately diagnosed my cousin's Game Boy Advance game as not fixable, and I am going to not look forward to that conversation because I hate disappointing people, but sometimes it is what it is, and there's only so much you can do, but that one I don't think I'm going to be able to fix. So I'll do some research on it tonight before I get in touch with him. I'll probably wait until tomorrow to get in touch with him and let him know either way if it is or isn't fixable. I don't think it will be. Unfortunately, I think it has something to do with that blob chip or potentially the RAM or whatever it is being saved to. So there, that it's just sometimes just the way things go. If it was an official Nintendo cartridge, you would have had a little bit more options, but the clones have the problem of you just don't know what and where those parts came from. So yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you just can't fix shit. So we'll see what we can do. But as I mentioned, I do have a very nice present for them. So hopefully that will make up for some of the disappointment of not getting the cartridge to work. End of the day, it was the fake, so you're not really missing out on much. And yeah, that's just disappointing. But I am tired. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of this rainy, crappy afternoon. Maybe get some chores done and relax. So anybody that stopped by, I do appreciate it. Anybody in the future watching, likes, comments, subscribes are always appreciated. I do stream every Saturday and Sunday. I try to start between 11 a.m. and noon Central Standard Time. Go for about 3 or 4 hours. On Saturdays, I do like to do mods. On Sundays, I do like to do repairs. Lately, it has been repairs on both days because I just haven't had much to mod. So, yeah. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are going to suck it up. And we are definitely going to start working on that PC Engine LT. So, I'm pissing my pants in fear over that one. So, we'll see how that goes. But maybe we'll start the day off tomorrow with the Neo Geo and at least see what we can do to rescue the board from the case. And that way I can begin the process of cleaning it and then identifying all the broken components. And then that way next week I can put those broken components on order. And we can potentially, hopefully, maybe, possibly by next weekend, be able to put that one back together. So if I see you here tomorrow, great. Like I said, I'll be back between 11 and 12 Central Standard Time. If I don't, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful rest of your week. And then maybe I will see you here next weekend. So until then, enjoy your day. And I hope to see you soon. All right, guys.